I like it. It looks fresh, but how are we not going to put a crab, or how are we not going to put the best looking flag out there, the Maryland flag, incorporated in the City Connects? They're City Connects. Put the Maryland flag in there. Put a crab in there. Put my logo on there. What's going on here? We got Aaron Judge destroying stadiums. He should be arrested, first of all. With everyone at BTL chat, Tail and Squad Ride. We'll break you guys out of prison later. This guy's cheated multiple times in the past, gotten caught for it. He's actually a human trash can. This dude is the scum on the bottom of your shoe. That guy goes park to park, stadium to stadium, a grown-ass man with a baseball glove, like he's playing in the game, taking home runs from kids, not giving little man the respect he deserves. What a loser.
They're watching me flourish, I'm watching them run. Damn. Brand new bag for bro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Tuesday, episode 260 piece. Hold the fry, as always, joined by your guys, Krabs and Javon, after that squad ride cake on Monday. My goodness.
A little bit.
Too early for some cake in the week, Javon, and goats are muted. Goats are muted.
I'm muted.
Oh, there he is. 10 fours.
Sure.
10 fours. Chat, we got TikTok Live rolling right now. If you guys are joining from the TikTok Live, feel free to come over to the Twitch channel, Book It Sports. All right, we run live every single day, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, talking about bets, talking about winners. All right, boys, let's get to work. Our guy Jay Free, one of the fries, he's not getting them. He's not getting them today. Not after a squad ride out to start the week off. But Javon, we're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
We're going to bounce back.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. WBTL shirts as well.
There we go.
Chats. Hope the merch came in. These shirts are fire. All right. Hope you guys got your merch. All right. I got a couple extra shirts as well. We'll be doing some giveaways throughout the next few weeks. We'll definitely do one this week as well. Hope you guys had a good Monday. Besides the Pirates ML, which might have been the worst bet of all time.
Yeah.
Might have been the worst bet of all time. W squad ride recap. We'll flash the graphic up. Okay. W transparency. That was a shit wager. That was a shit wager. No other way to put it. I think they lost 8-0. It is what it is. We move. All right, chat. We're not living in the past. We're living in today. We've got plenty of winners on today's action-packed slate. My goodness, I think everyone's playing pretty much. We've got College World Series. We've got Dinger Tuesday as well. And we got to get you guys a prize pick slip. We didn't craft up yesterday. All right, we're locking in today. We're finding some prize picks winners as well. Trent Super Goats coming in with a sub bang. Let's freaking go, dudes. That's the first time I've heard from Trent Super Goats in years. Love it. We got a sub bang early. Absolutely love the energy today, chat. Let's have a freaking day. All right, let's have a day. And let's talk about the Reds. All right, Javon, because they just keep on winning. They just keep on winning. We should have just taken them for the squad ride. We should take them every game until they lose for the squad rides. But let's go ahead and unpack what they did last night. My goodness. Joey Votto, first game back in 10 months, Javon. Absolutely incredible. His applause he got, much deserved, I think. This guy's got his head on straight. He might be a goofball and post weird shit and say weird shit, 100%. But Joey Votto gets it. All right. And if anybody watched his post-game presser, this guy understands that the city loves him. They wanted him to come back when he's been the leader of a shit team for decades. And for them to want him back so much and be talking about him, needing him back in the lineup, to rejoin this team after a 10-month stint recovering from an injury, for him has been essential for his comeback, both mentally and physically. And he comes in, first game, goes 2 for 3, Javon. Goes 2 for 3. Not only 2 base hits, all right, the King has returned. He went yaya and took 1 yard off of Gomber. I mean, you and me probably could take Gomber yard too. But this guy is just incredible. Another great story for the Reds, who seem like just a team of destiny this year, Javon.
They do, and I'm excited to be on the ride for it. I guess the big question here was, Votto coming back. He looked pitiful, at the end of last season, his little stint, because he was injured. And the question was, could he come back and really contribute anything to a team that was already on this crazy hot streak? And he was definitely very self-aware of that. You're talking about the press conference. He made everything known of his position and coming back in this super young team. And if he's going to keep producing like this, I know it's 1 game, but he seems absolutely locked in and knows exactly what he has to do for using his part in this team. So I'm excited to see him long-term in this lineup. And I think he's going to be huge. That veteran presence for that team is going to be massive down the stretch when they're making this run. And I'm pumped.
They asked him about putting on the Viking suit. He said he's been looking forward to that for months.
Yeah.
Absolutely looking forward to that for months. Talked about how this team's energy is just different, something he's never experienced in his entire career. I think we can all agree this team's got something special going on up there in Cincy. And we are along for the ride. My goodness, Javon. First time since 2021 that the Reds are atop the NL Central. Absolutely incredible. I mean, this graphic is elite. Votto putting on the freaking Viking hat. I feel like that's extremely fitting. Okay. This guy and this team is so much fun. And I hope they continue this stretch. My goodness, Javon.
Yeah,
you called it.
You and me both.
You called it, my man. And look, the Reds, this might surprise you that they were even in first at one point in 2021, Javon, but this is the first time in 4,000 days where the Reds have been in first place in June. That is nuts. Okay, so eliminate, a quick start to the first week of the season. When it comes down to it, the Reds really have not been in first place in this division in an impactful time of the season in over 4,000 days, Javon.
Crazy.
Love.
Absolutely crazy. So, I mean, this is
insane.
Thankfully, they have a pretty weak division, you could say, with really just everybody's pretty mid. The Brewers are slipping. Pirates are slipping. I mean, Pirates are pretty cold. Now they're even worse.
Yep.
So, I mean, the opportunity is there. Let's hope they can seize it. And honestly, like, depending on some of the roster moves that they have to make, they're in a pretty tough spot now these weeks, or like these next 2 weeks. Because Hunter Green is on the IL for like 2 massive series. And yeah,
I got Josh
too. I was playing well, but yeah, I mean, Hunter Green not being able to pitch for the Braves series and or the Orioles series kind of hurts. So I'm interested to see what they do there, but they got a chance to take a hold of the division for at least the foreseeable future. I'm excited.
100%. 100%. And Javon, you got them at what, plus 3,000 to make the playoffs?
2,500.
Plus 2,500 to make the playoffs. Chat right now, they are plus 300, plus 400. Josh will show the graphic he had up before of Joey Votto giving the Bradley Beal look to the announcer, which is hilarious. They are plus 425 to win the division right now, and they are plus 370 to make the playoffs. Unbelievable the value you got on that WCLV. All right, let's hope they keep it up and keep winning.
Hope so.
Right, no need to jinx it anymore.
Yeah, it is June. It's crazy, awesome to be excited about at this point, but we are still less than halfway through the season, so can't cash it just yet. But I'm excited for the run that they're making. It's awesome.
100%. All right, and speaking of the Reds, not only is the team dialed, Javon, but the fans are dialed too. All right, I was watching this game last night, enjoying a nice little Reds win, and this fella in the crowd, day after Father's Day, he deserved it. Catches a ball in a beer that falls to the ground, fucking spurts up like we're in Vegas in the Bellagio. And this guy did exactly what you have to do in this situation, and that's chug the beer with the ball in it. I would pay money to be this guy. Everyone around him wanted to be this guy. All right? You don't need a glove at the ballpark, ladies and gents. Javon, at the Brewers game, we saw a gentleman catch a ball in his hat, and everyone gave him a round of applause. All right? You don't need a glove at the game, ladies and gents. You use your hands, you use your beer, and you look like a fucking stud like this dude who had the night of his life. Absolutely electric. This guy was getting gassed up on MLB Network all night last night. Deservingly so. That's a bucket list. That's bucket list for me, Javon. Catching a ball in a beer and everyone looking at me and chugging it.
Yeah.
That's literally heaven.
That's something you just got to do at some point.
Chat, you don't need a glove at the game. You're a grown-up. You got hands that work. All right? You got hands that work, and you got beers, and you got hats you can use. You don't need a glove. All right? 100%. Could not have said it any better. That's my burner. Okay? W's, chat. Look, we've got Dinger Tuesday today. We got to get dialed. We're going to go over some home run winners and also obviously talk about the TCU game, which starts up right after stream. W's, Javon. And then the MLB slate is so fat today. So fat. And then prize picks as well, Javon. We've got a lot to do. You want to start with Dinger Tuesday? Where do you want to start?
Yeah, we can do that. I have a couple that I'm looking at. And we can start. We were talking about the Reds. I want to start in that game. But really on the other side of it, because a guy who I really want to attack for home runs, even though I don't necessarily think they're going to win the game, but Ben Lively. He's pitching for the Reds today. I don't think he's going to struggle that much. He's actually been sort of impressive, but home run department is where he struggled. I believe it was the Cardinal start where he gave up like 5 in however many innings. So today I was looking at some of these guys, and the guy that I'm looking at is Nolan Jones, who really probably along the same timeline as, buying into the Reds. I've started to buy into him since he's been up for the Rockies and been taking him here and there. He has been absolutely crushing baseballs. So from the left side, which Ben Lively actually does have slight reverse splits, but you have to look at him with a little bit of grain of salt with some of the teams that he's faced. Nolan Jones is definitely a guy I want to target in Great American Ballpark to go yard here. I think he has a pretty good matchup, and Ben Lively definitely is going to struggle in the home run department, I think, tonight, even if he pitches kind of well. So Nolan Jones is my guy there.
Okay. Nolan Jones, young guy who's been balling this season for the Rockies, I bet. Should be some runs in that game. I'll be honest, I don't love that you're picking a Rocky against the Reds today.
Well, I have a Red too. I like Nolan Jones a little more. For a Red, I went with a guy that's 2 spots right ahead of him, Matt McClain, who I also really like today. This one's a little different because it's a little, I wouldn't say less matchup based, but it's a matchup that I like. I like Nolan Jones pretty significantly better. But Noah Davis, the thing with him is you can only handicap his matchup for so long because he's probably only going, 4 innings, 5 innings if he's super efficient. But Matt McClain is just absolutely dialed into the play right now. And Noah Davis is hopefully going to fill up the zone. I know he's had some command issues since he's been up a little bit, but this Reds lineup on the the middle part of it, not Ellie De La Cruz. It's been super aggressive early and often in the count, and Matt McClain's been that guy. And Noah Davis early in counts leaves a lot over the middle of the plate. So I think Matt McClain is my guy here. Another, I guess, favorable split spot. So I went with him in this one, plus 550.
Okay. Somebody asked, are these up on Prize Picks? Nolan Jones is.
Nolan Jones is. I don't think McClain is. McClain, they put him up. They put him up on Prize Picks like the first 2 weeks they had him up. He hasn't sniffed the board since, which sucks because he's been on an absolute tear, and I would be putting him in slips almost every single day.
Yep, 100%. And Yankees, 1996. I think that was the last time you guys won a World Series. We will go over the TCU game. Don't you worry. We're going to do Dinger Tuesday, and we're going to do college baseball, and then we're going to do MLB slate, and then we're going to do Prize Picks. Got a lot on the agenda today, my man. I promise we'll talk about the Frogs. All right. You know Javon wants to. Javon wants to.
Yeah,
look, this guy's got a sense of humor as well. W Yankees 1996. He gets it. He gets it. All right. W sense of humor from a Yankee fan. That's very rare. All right. Javon, I do agree. I think this is a game you target for some dingers today. A lot of low totals today, so it's going to be tricky. We got to be picky. Let's go over to DC if you're done with this game.
Let's do it.
Okay. You hit me up a week or so ago, when Joey Meneses started to get going again, and you said we might have to take this guy to hit a home run. Now I'm looking at his odds today, facing a lefty, Montgomery, soft throwing lefty, perfect matchup for our guy Joey Meneses. I thought his odds were a little bit short compared to some of the other Nats. Maybe not. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Joey has not been a home run guy so far this season. We know he was a lot more powerful last year. This year he's been more of a contact guy. Second best batting average with runners in scoring position this season. He's been clutch. He's been great. When the Nats score, when the Nats win, it's Lane Thomas scoring, and it's usually Joey Meneses driving him in. All right. I think Joey goes yard today, though. I think it's a great matchup for him. High-ish total with that opener. I think the total's coming down because Mackenzie Gore might pitch better, not Montgomery, and I still kind of like the over anyways, even with the line move, and I like the Nats. So I think we go with this W script, take our guy Meneses at plus 550 when I thought he'd be in the 600s. What are your thoughts on my guy Meneses, Javon?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. I certainly like his matchup today. I don't think he has any props up on Prize Picks, but I think he's definitely, even if he doesn't go yard, going to have a pretty good game at the plate. His odds do seem a little short for the lack of power he's been hitting for really a majority of this season, but especially lately. So I have absolutely no problem with that.
Okay. And let's talk about Lane Thomas for a second, guys. He's playing so well that he's about to get traded. He's playing so good, he's about to be on a playoff team come the second half of the season. And I hope it's not true, all right? But I get it. I understand this is a business. I know we have 2 years left on his contract. We're not winning a World Series over the next 2 years, so why keep him, Javon? And I know this is a point on Matt's Twitter, and I want your opinions, and I want Chat's opinions. Without Lane Thomas in this lineup, we suck even more. And a lot of the fans are saying, please don't trade him. He's one of the only fun things we got going on, or one of the only reasons to go to the park. But the end goal, Javon, is to win a World Series. And the best move for us to build our team up and make us better, for the coming years is to trade guys right now like Joey Meneses, like Lane Thomas, like the Candyman if somebody's that desperate. I think it's a no-brainer, personally. What are your thoughts on moving a guy like Lane Thomas and making the Nats absolutely atrocious and pretty much unwatchable for the rest of the season, but making a play for the coming years when they have a chance?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think – you know more than I do, but I would have to think that you're looking at kind of the older guys getting moved first, which is like a Candelario or some of those guys. And it seems like the Nationals are pretty into building around that young core at some point. It's just interesting. I don't know what point they're necessarily at with that because logically, I guess, you make a trade for a lot of these guys like Mackenzie Gore's in there. You got the prospects that are going to be coming up. I would like to start, these next couple of years with a Lane Thomas, Luis Garcia, Joey Meneses core personally in that lineup. So I guess throw Keibert Ruiz in there too. So I don't know what they're going to do. It's just they're in a really weird spot right now, especially being the fact that they're kind of contending for a playoff spot and they really probably didn't expect to. So I don't really know.
Yeah, I'd say over the last 2 weeks, that playoff spot and those playoff hopes are gone, unfortunately. So
maybe a little bit.
We're pretty much toast. And that's enough talking about the Nats for one day, chat. But anybody else in this game, Javon, you wanted to target before we move?
No, not for me. I'm pretty allergic to Cardinals tank props, so
sure.
Away from that.
Yeah. Take us to your next game. I know you got another prop up your sleeve.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Miami, which is a lower total game. Not expecting incredibly much offense in this game, but I was looking through some of these Marlins because Kikuchi is certainly a guy I want to target for home runs, and this is a very home run dependent Marlins lineup. So this is probably one of the, I would assume, more corporate ones today. I like Jorge Soler against Kikuchi. It's kind of tough because there's a lot of guys that I like in the lineup. I like their matchups against Kikuchi, just not necessarily for power, and that's what makes this Marlins team so difficult to read. But obviously, you have Soler, who's a big part of that. Brian De La Cruz, I would have loved to target if this was 2 weeks ago, but he's not necessarily seeing the ball. And yes, Chat, I know he went yard yesterday. I don't really care because I think the Marlins score a handful of runs in this game. You have a line flip. It's just they really just are so dependent on home runs if it's not Luis Arias base hits. So I think he gets it one off of Kikuchi, maybe starts to get hot a little bit, similar to how he was in those little couple weeks stretch that he had earlier in the season. So I like Soler.
Okay. Soler in every home run lotto I've seen on Twitter, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, he is every Tuesday. I'm not shocked. But
he's also up for a run on Prize Picks.
Yeah, I mean, that has fizzled out a little bit since it's a little hot run earlier in the season, but
yep,
I still like to see that.
Okay. W's, Chats. We'll keep moving and grooving. Javon, unless you like anybody else in this game.
No.
Is Vladdy still just going to be plus 380, plus 400 every game, even though he's not hitting nukes?
I guess so. I mean,
okay.
I don't know what the deal is with him. He's not good.
Yep.
I wouldn't be shocked though today. I mean, a lot of people were on him yesterday, which has been few and far in between this season. So wouldn't be surprised if he comes back with it today. Finally gets going.
Do we like any Guardians today? I know they're not a big power team, but against Medina at home here with a total at 9, do we like any guards?
Yeah, I looked at that because Medina, I mean, against pretty much any other team is probably a guy that you want to target here. I will say, I mean, I looked at Jose Ramirez. I don't think that's a bad option. The guy who's sneakily been hitting for a lot of extra base hit power too is sitting up there at plus 900, Andres Jimenez, which
wow,
I don't really know, like if it's a permanent thing, him hitting higher in the lineup, because I know they put him at lead off a couple of times in the last handful of, a week, a half, 2 weeks or so. I would love to see that happen again because he's been really good when he's up there. But I mean, he's also, the power supply's been moving up a little bit lately, which I've been surprised to see. So if you're not taking Jose Ramirez up there, I would love to take a stab at Andres Jimenez. Yeah, I like Josh Naylor too. A lot of people love him today. I'm not shocked.
Okay. How about all these freaking Oakland guys who were shorter than plus 500? We got Noda, we got Brown, we got Langoliers, we got Rooker at plus 425. Are you used to seeing these A's with these short of odds? I mean, they've got way shorter odds than the freaking Guardians overall, besides J-Ram and freaking, I don't even see our guy. Lefty, big man.
Josh Naylor.
I don't even see Naylor on the board. Is he off today?
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, why are all these A's like plus 400 today to go yards? Yeah,
I don't really know. If this was FanDuel, I'd say that's probably pretty normal because day or Tuesday they always have super juiced odds, but this isn't FanDuel, so it's probably a little weird. I wouldn't be sure. Savali's another guy like I wouldn't be mad targeting him for home runs, even if he does pitch pretty well, because he can give up a solo shot or two. He's been prone to do that. Just, I mean, picking out one of the A's lineup is very difficult, but maybe a little telling that they're all this short.
Okay. Any other props? Any other home run hitters you got up your sleeve?
Yeah, I got one more that I'm going to. Going to the Pirates. I'm taking Henry Davis today.
Oh, my God.
Moved down significantly. I want to see him get his first home run, and I think it comes against Marcus Stroman. Again, similar situation where I don't think he pitches all that terribly, which, I mean, it's probably a little harder to handicap, being that the same pitching matchup happened a week ago in that game where we had the crazy Oviedo under fantasy score cash, the whole world cash, the Stroman fantasy score over that was green. A little different of a lineup than Henry Davis. I liked what I saw from him yesterday in this matchup. I was looking into how he hit against some of these Arsenals in the minor leagues, and this is a Stroman matchup that I really like for him. So I think he gets his first today. And
yeah, he's not even up here on DK. And do you know what odds he's at?
Yeah, I saw him like plus 650 last time.
W. Josh.
560. That's a fat jump.
W. Josh, good work.
I mean, looking at that, I know it's probably a popular name because he's a top prospect, but a guy who hasn't hit a home run has one hit. He's been up for a game now. Sitting third in that game is a little strange.
I'm with you. That is whack. How about Davis coming through with a double in his first at bat yesterday, too, down the line? That was electric.
Roped.
I thought that was going to get the Pirates going.
Yeah, I thought so, too, until they left 15 on base.
Is Jesse Winker starting to get going here? Does Jesse Winker hit his first home run of the season today?
Maybe he can hit the ball. I don't know about over the wall.
Let's take a peep at his freaking odds.
Yeah,
why not us? Let's take a look. Yeah, that'd be crazy if we see Winker do something, man. But I'm in. Against Arizona, against Nelson, 9.5 total. He's at plus 600. He hasn't hit a nuke all year. Huh.
Yeah, that's usually where he's at, though. I'm not mad at that.
Chad, is Winker hitting his first home run of the day today? Let me know. Am I putting my real-life money on Jesse Winker to hit a home run today? That's the real question.
Yeah, that can be a you decision.
Well, Javon, matchup-wise, I mean, he's a lefty against Nelson. Is Nelson a home run thrower?
Yes, somewhat. He's probably going to give up one or two, but I kind of like Ryan Nelson today, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to do there as far as home run props in this game. I just stayed away.
He's only given up 1 home run this month. He gave up only 3 in the month of May, 5 in the month of April. I had way more starts then. He's not really a big home run guy.
It's not huge, just in the right matchups he can be, but I'm not really sure what's there.
You guys need to spam Charlie. Tell him to come on BTL, and we'll go through some Nerfies with him if he wants.
Yeah.
All right?
Go.
Are you two coming to New York for a game? I think we are eventually, my man. Yes. I got to go up there. I got to give an honest review for the people of the Judge Burger. Everyone's gassing it up too much, already saying it's going to be good before they've even taken a bite. The people need a real review. All right? It's been getting gassed up so much, the people need to know. Okay? Just submitted the crustiest home run 2-legger of all time. What is it, bro?
Yeah, I got it.
What is it?
Oh, there it is. Nolan Jones and Eric Haas.
Wow. All right. Thoughts on Eric Haas today? On the Tigers?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Lynch is definitely a guy that I wouldn't mind targeting either. I was looking a little bit into that game. Didn't really know who to pick, so I stuck away from that one. But if you're going with Eric Haas, I see no issues.
Yeah, let's take a peep. See where these odds are at. Maybe Miggy plus 550. Sure.
Damn,
or plus 750.
I was gonna say plus 550. That would have been low as shit.
Veerling, people are saying. The people are talking about Veers.
Is he gonna play?
Plus 650. Torque is a must. Scope going deep tonight. SBR. Our Tigers sharp.
Yeah, he said carry last night. I think he's the one who hit the 3-run tank. Go ahead, 3-run tank in that game. But yeah, I've been trying to pick out the Scope game a couple of times in these Dinger Tuesdays. Haven't done it, but wouldn't be opposed to that being today.
Okay. Do we trust our guy SBR and go with Scope? Is Tiger?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that one bit.
Plus 750, I bet. Fat Girl's like, I swear to God, man, if he hits 3 home runs this week, I'm going to be in such piss. He's already hit 1. He hit 1 last week, I think.
Yeah, off Strider.
I bet. I freaking bet. Javon, are we adding Scope to the card or what?
I'm down to add Scope.
All right. Let's add him. SBR coming in here saying Scope's hit a nuke. I mean, I feel like we just got to trust.
Yeah, I'm with it.
All right. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. What about – let's talk about this. What game was it? Boston, Minnesota. Let's go to Minnesota. I want to take a peep at these odds. Hot Red Sox bats. The Twins, they're the Twins. They are what they are. But, Chad, let me know if there's a home run hitter you like in this Boston-Minnesota game. All right? Relatively high total compared to the rest of the board. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be an under day today. Maybe today's the day you take the Grand Salami under. I wouldn't hate that one bit. Not one bit. All right. Duvall plus 380, Javon. Right at the top. Not wasting any time. Or I guess Devers has shorter odds. But what do you think about Duvall?
I don't mind it. It's just I don't feel all that confident in his approach right now, which is the problem. I'm taking a guy for Dinger Tuesday. I want him to be in an extreme hot streak here, preferably. I don't know. I mean, definitely looking at the odds, I'll tell you what stands out to me off the rip. Jaron Durant at plus 470. That seems like a incredibly low price for him, and that's not just here. That's on seemingly every book. That's the price that stands out to me immediately. And he's been seeing the ball pretty well, and I've been excited to see that as a Jaron Durant stan. So I mean, that seems like a low price for him.
Okay. Maybe we go with our guy Duran. I know someone in chat said, why is Julian always so short? Any opinions on that, Javon, for their leadoff guy?
I mean, he hits leadoff. That's a part of it. But also, I mean, looking at everybody below him, it's not like he's sitting above like big power hitters, other than Michael A. Taylor, of course. But Willie Castro, Connor Wong, and Christian Arroyo, can't really put him below those guys.
Sure. All right, chat. Let's keep moving. All right, there's got to be one more game. How about this late night game, Dodgers-Angels? We got to take a peek. We got Kershaw on the bump. We got Detmers on the bump. I mean, Detmers has been relatively decent in his last couple starts. Wouldn't mind taking a Dodger who crushes left-handed pitching in this matchup. Maybe a guy like JD Martinez, plus 400. I know he's been hitting the ball pretty well over the last month or so. Any thoughts on him?
No problem with it. I'm not really into this game because I kind of think both these pitchers are going to pitch pretty well, even with how the Dodgers have been destroying left-handed pitching. I mean, Detmers has also been really good, masterclass when we didn't expect him to against Texas, even though they won that game in the end. I don't know. I kind of like his matchup. I think he's going to get a lot of strikeouts today, which don't have to necessarily correlate, but I think he pitches pretty well, so I'm staying off this game for Dingers.
Okay. Not even a little Will Smith sprinkle at plus 360.
I mean, I love Will Smith, so I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but
he's been hitting nukes. Not really.
Not too much.
He hit one June 13th, a week ago. That was his last one. He's got 10 on the season. Do you think his odds are a little short?
Yeah, it's just kind of where he sits.
Okay. All right. Johnny DeLuca, plus 560.
Johnny DeLuca. Yeah, why not?
All right. Javon doesn't like fun in this game. We'll move. Chat, not a big Dinger Tuesday day, but we're going to go ahead and advance. All right. Right now, we've got Nolan Jones, Matt McClain, Joey Meneses, Jorge Soler, Henry Davis, Jonathan Scope, and Jaron Durant. That sounds pretty good to me, Javon. That sounds like a quality over quantity Dinger Tuesday slip today.
That does. Certainly does.
Awesome. We're going to pivot to college baseball and talk TCU a little bit here, chat. But first, if you guys haven't downloaded props.cash, what are you doing? If you place Prize Picks and you're not using props.cash to find winners, we can't help you. All right? Here's a promo code, 25% off your first month. Promo code BOOKIT. All right? If you don't like it after a month, if it doesn't help you hit more Prize Picks entries, you don't got to renew. But I promise if you try it, you're going to love it. I use it every fucking day. It saves me probably an hour a day on research, finding freaking props that I like. All right? Check out props.cash. Download it. If you send Prize Picks, it is by far and by none the best app to complement it, the only app out there to do your complimentary research and find winners on props. All right, boys? Make sure you download it. Use our promo code. Get that cheap first month. It's already cheap as it is. All right, boys? We move. Javon, big day for your Horned Frogs, man. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. It's definitely going to be a weird game. I was really, honestly, pretty shocked to see this price, money line price, where it is and continuing to move TCU's way. So seeing like minus 160 now is kind of crazy. I know it's going to be different because they're on paper the better team. Oral isn't going to get line respect just because they've been so good in this tournament. But, I mean, the starting pitching advantage is definitely quite tilted in their favor. I know we talked about Cam Brown going for the TCU Frogs today, which he scared me all season. I haven't seen a good flash out of him that's made me the slightest bit confident. The leash is going to be super short, so you're going to be looking at a potential bulk guy situation behind him. If he comes out looking pretty shaky, command's a little off, which it has been a lot of times this season. So I'm a little shocked. I think this price is a little large. I think the bats start to get it together against this Oral Roberts, team, and pitching staff who, if they can chase the starter pretty quickly, there's not much beyond that bullpen. And yeah, I'm definitely not going under. Definitely not going under with these two offenses because people forget. I mean, to open the tournament, this over was probably the most corporate play on the board. Soared under. Only reason it even sniffed it is because of the the odds moving up. And yeah, the only reason it kind of sniffed it was because of the late runs there. These pitching staffs are a little less deep than they were in that game, especially on the back end, which is saying a lot after the collapses we saw from both sides. So you're going to get B arms probably pretty early in this game. So I think this is when you go back to the over, if anything, and I think TCU kind of pulls this one out.
Okay. We'll take the Frogs as a little fatter of a favorite than we expected. Maybe it's because they're playing little old Oral Roberts. I don't know. But that team can play. They can hang, and that's a disrespectful line against them. I'll tell you that much. Let's go Frogs to that. Chat. Here's who's pitching, or at least projected to pitch. And this game starts up in about an hour. Oral's throwing their sophomore, Brooks Fowler, who's 9-1, got a sub 3.5 ERA. Oral Roberts has won 15 out of the 16 games this kid has started. And we know Oral Roberts also has probably the best closer in college baseball, if not one of the best. Absolute dog. And they're probably going to leave him out there to close this game out for a couple innings if needed. It is an elimination game. And then TCU, like you said, Javon, they've been rolling with a two-man starting rotation. But today, on short rest, they're not able to go to this guy, so it's probably going to be Cam Brown, who's got a 5.5 ERA, the junior. This kid does not go deep into games, so it's probably going to be a TCU bullpen game like you were saying. And this kid does have some major control issues. He had 10 walks in his last 2 starts, but when he's on, he's on. And Javon, you talked about him clutching up in big moments. Does this kid have the stones to lock in and get TCU a win today?
Yeah, I mean, in his TCU career, he has strangely been good with his back against the wall in big elimination games, both in like the conference tournament and in the actual college baseball tournament, not College World Series. So I don't think he's been there for those times. But yeah, he comes out and shines in the biggest moments. So I wouldn't be shocked if it's today. So I'm hoping it is today because, I mean, if they get deep into that bullpen and second option, third option very quickly out of the pen, I'd be a little scared. I would love that for runs, but we'll see. I do think the TCU bats really come out to play today, though.
Okay. And our guy Nicholas is saying in that second game, Tennessee has the advantage, probably why they're a short dog against one of the better teams in college baseball. I would not be betting LSU today. I'll leave it at that, chats. This is a team I picked pre-tournament to win it all. And by looking at these odds, I think Tennessee might continue that momentum from last night and pull off another win.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, one of the teams that you certainly don't want on a short rest, back-to-back, needing some fresh arms out of their pen, it's probably LSU right now. So they're not incredibly deep. We talked about that like at the beginning of the season, or not the beginning of the season, beginning of the tournament. That was kind of their downfall. They weren't really deep in the back end, and they've actually been performing pretty well, overperforming, I guess you could say, so far this College World Series for the most part. So wouldn't be surprised if that comes back to bite them today. People forget this is a tournament setting, so you do have to look at a lot of these teams who are going to be throwing guys who haven't thrown significant innings in a month, So it's a tough point in the season if you don't get length from a lot of your main guys. And Tennessee certainly has those.
Yep, they've got a good bullpen. They probably have the advantage pitching-wise overall in that game. All right, unless Paul Skeens comes out there and fucking throws 100 and out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
He's probably not pitching today. All right, boys. Let's move. Hopefully the Frogs get it done for Javon and the squads. All right, we know he's going to be rooting for them and watching this game intensely. Elimination game. Let's freaking go Frogs. All right, get it done. Continue the majestic season they've had with their sports teams. My goodness.
Why not?
All right, job's not done.
Yeah.
Job's not done. All right, Javon, you want to power through this MLB slate?
We could do that, yeah.
Sure. If you've got props in any of these games, feel free to stop me. We'll go over them. We can kind of craft both as we go through. As of right now, chat, a couple squares that have caught my eye after going over the Dinger Tuesday segment. Obviously, Nolan Jones, more than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Decent look.
Of course.
Of course. And then we got Soler, more than half a run as well. Are you scared to take that, though? If you think he's going yard, though, I mean, I wouldn't hate taking that run.
Yeah, I mean, any props anybody has that are on the Dinger Tuesday list, I have no problem taking an entry, and that is certainly one of them.
Okay. Dubs, chat. We'll start out with Atlanta versus Philly. All right, Strider got roughed up in his last start. Suarez has been nails recently, absolute nails. Javon, we need to talk through this line. Strider's been struggling a little bit for him at least. Suarez has been nails. Okay, the Phillies are playing great right now. They're already 4 games over 500 out of nowhere. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. Atlanta's still doing what they've done all year, and that's win. They're 20 games over 500, maybe the best team in baseball overall besides your Rays. Do you think this line is short? Do you think Philly is a fake sharp trap with how well Suarez has been and Strider's going to bounce back with this relatively fat ML against the Phillies who have been red hot? Where is your head at with this line?
I think the line's probably just where it should be. Strider fade seems to be awfully popular today, and I'm not shocked to see that. Starting to seem like some regression is finally setting in and stretcher Strider, whether it's just him actually being stretched out as a full starter for a large part of this season and the end of last, and it's finally starting to catch up to his arm. Who knows? Just leaving a lot of fastballs over the middle of the plate. It's becoming very predictable with the secondary stuff. So it's really just kind of the regression that I've been expecting to kick in probably a little earlier than it actually did. And I think people are getting pretty hip to that. With as well as Ranger Suarez has been really the majority of the season, the Phillies bats are starting to heat up in June, especially the top of that lineup with Schwarber. It's just, it feels like it makes perfect sense to me. I don't know if I want anything to do with this game as far as a side or even the total. That's going to seem awfully popular on that over as well. So I don't know. I would probably lean betting against the popular fade today, and I would go with Strider here, but I don't love it. One of the guys that I was certainly targeting for the Braves, though, is Travis d'Arnaud, who's been I usually go and look at one of 2 guys when we're talking about the Braves against a lefty. It's him and Kevin Pillar. And with a Ranger Suarez arsenal on the mound tonight, which I don't mind Kevin Pillar, but I think Travis d'Arnaud is a little bit more my guy because he likes that sinker a little more as of late, especially. Travis d'Arnaud has been nails against lefties. He just hasn't had many at-bats because he hasn't been in the lineup really much at all. So now that he is, I do see that 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI square up, and I love it. I know he's been hitting very well in certain spots. He's a streaky in-game hitter, and I think we get a really good game out of him today. So I like that square.
Okay. Josh, you can go ahead and add Soler run and Nolan Jones hit run RBI as well. We can finalize towards the end, but let's just go ahead and get this list building up. All right. I would not hate this under in this game either. I feel like it's a nasty contrarian under. All the bets are on the over, and the odds have honestly moved and shifted towards the under after the -110 opener. I feel like the over looks free. You get Atlanta versus a lefty. Suarez has been ass all year except for recently. I don't even know if the public is hip to that and how well he's pitched over the last month. And then you've got Philly's offense, which has been unstoppable against Strider, who's been struggling recently. I feel like the over looks super free. And we're seeing the odds move. And honestly, maybe this total might close at 8. I like the under. And I would not hate taking d'Arnaud hit run RBI because that's a cheeky square that's not usually up, I feel like. And I still think it'll hit. But I do like the under in this game.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm in.
Dubs. Baseball season is about streaks and who's hot. Got to ride the wave. Yeah, right now we are, chat. Right now we are, and we're bouncing back today. We're hitting the squad ride. All right, boys. We're seeing the MLB board pretty clear. All right, boys. What side do I lean? I lean Philly, but I'm not betting it. I like the under bet. All right, boys. And I know Ref said he's got a Tennessee future a little earlier. W's, Ref. Rooting for you, my man. And Yankees fan, I will DM you after the stream. I got you. All right, boys. Lane Thomas. Sure. Is he up on Prize Picks today? We'll talk about that when we get to the Nats game. All right. Yeah. For now, let's talk about your guy Bradish pitching against your Rays and Glasnow. Javon, give us the Bradish and Glasnow report.
Yeah, it's a tricky game because Glasnow, I'm not going to say he's coming off of a terrible start, but he didn't look great against the A's. He gave up a lot of harder contact than I think I really expected. I think he gave up like 7-8 hits in that game as well. Didn't really have his ace stuff. That whole series was overall really, really weird. But, I mean, coming back home today where the Rays as a team are just much better, I do think he pitches well against the Orioles lineup today. I'm really unsure of what we're going to get from Bradish because when he's at his worst at times in the season, it's a lot of free base runners. It's a lot of lack of command, and the Rays have been absolutely killer. I guess at taking advantage of those situations, especially in the trop. So I wouldn't be surprised if we to see a Rays, not necessarily power show today, but more of a nickel and dime with base hits, getting a lot of foot traffic early, and kind of they coast from the start of the game, pick up a crooked inning where they score 3 or 4, not much the rest of the game. So I do like the Rays today. I wouldn't be surprised if Glass now has to wiggle out of trouble for a couple of these innings. I don't think he's going to be fantastic, but I do lean Rays. Minus 175 maybe seems a little long against the Orioles. I know they haven't been getting much line respect over the past week, 2 or so. But it does feel a little significant, even with the Rays being in the drop. So lean the Rays.
Dubs. Eddie, your shirts, your merch should be coming in this week. A lot of people already got their stuff. I got my shit, rocking the shirt right now. Fire. Let me know, DM me if you don't get your stuff at the end of the week. Take care of you. All right. Everybody should be getting their stuff this week, though. W's. All right. Did open minus 155, though.
Yeah, I still felt like that was a little significant, too. I was expecting like minus 140. Which, I don't know.
I like the under in this game as well. Maybe it'll be an under day for me. I thought after Glasnow gave up some runs and Bradish has been better recently, but I believe he's been pretty ass overall this season. I thought this total, with how good these offenses have been, was a little high even for being in the drop, and the over is extremely public. And the odds, if anything, are moving towards the under again, just like we talked about in that first game with Atlanta Philly. I like the under as well in this game.
Yeah, I could see like a 4-2, 4-3 game. Wouldn't be shocked to see that.
Sure. Alec, that's what I'm talking about, man. He's got the right mindset, chat. He's got the right mindset. Be more like Alec. All right, chat? Dubs, give me the under. Javon, you like the Rays to win this one?
I do. I'm not going to lay the minus 175, though, but I think they win.
And do you lean Braves? Someone's asking in chat.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Sounds good. Royals and Tigers. Shout out the Tigers last night for that late night comeback. Although the squad ride didn't hit, chat, did go 2-1 yesterday, so we'll take it. All right, Tigers ML came through. Since he came through, we got Lorenzo on the bump today. Total at 8.5. Open up at 9. Definitely a little weird that total's going down, but these offenses stink. Javon, any thoughts on a side in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I lean Tigers again. Probably another one that I don't really want to play. But I do think Daniel Lynch has a pretty terrible matchup for him. I guess from the Tigers lineup perspective, a pretty good one, depending on the lineup they put out. I would love to see Fielding in there. People were talking about him a lot earlier because I think somebody posted something on Twitter that everybody's rallying around. But he is unsure to be in the lineup. I want to see what lineup the Tigers put out because that could be pretty important, almost Rays type important as of late, especially against lefties, what lineup they're putting out there. But majority of the guys, I think, match up really, really well against Daniel Lynch. I think he's going to allow a lot of barrels today, as he's done against pretty much every lineup. And the Tigers, I mean, even though they haven't been putting up runs, they haven't hitting the ball hard, especially against left-handed pitching. So this is kind of where I think it could come to a head. I do like Lorenzen. He's been pitching well. I like his matchup as well. So I lean Tigers. Not anxious to play the minus 150 without seeing the lineup, though.
Yep. I'm with you. Wet Pickle, you're not wrong, brother. I could use a Spotted Cow draft, 100%. That was an elite beer. Elite airport beer. Yeah, give me the Tigers. Give me the under in this one. I think I might bet every under today. All right. Toronto versus Miami. We got Perez up on the bump, who's been nails. All right, this rookie's not getting talked about enough. He's been fire. We got Kikuchi on the bump on the other side, who's been pretty hit or miss, Javon. What are your thoughts on this game? I know we touched on it earlier a little bit, talking about some home run guys we like. Do you like Miami to win this game with that line flip?
I definitely lean Miami. Yeah, it's tough because I've been looking for situations that kind of fade Yuri Perez because he's been one of the luckier pitchers in baseball. You look at a lot of his expected stats, his xFIP, all the nerdy type stuff. He's been getting very lucky, and that's going to come to an end, I think, very soon unless he makes some adjustments. But I don't know if I'm huge on that happening today against the Blue Jays, especially with the line flip, because I really do like the Marlins. Like a lot of their lineup against Kikuchi. I mean, they've been hitting lefties very well, especially at home. I know I've been big, kind of fading the opposite side of both of those splits against righties on the road. Now we get their better split in both those aspects, and I think they do come out with a win here. That flip. I also wouldn't be shocked a little sneaky over. I don't expect like a constant flow of offense in this game necessarily, like we saw from the Marlins yesterday. But like I said, I was targeting for home runs. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a couple of those that ended up being worth 6, 7, 8 runs. So I think there's going to be some foot traffic. Maybe they score him out of some trouble in a couple of these innings, but you're going to have some bigger banks. I think there's going to be a couple multi-RBI hits, whether they're over the wall or in the gap, whatever it may be. So I think this one sneaks over too, but I'm leaning Marlins.
Okay. I'm with you. I lean Marlins. I lean the over in this game. First game, I like the over in on the cards. But I do think Perez is that guy. Somebody in chat asked, he's got to regress, right? I don't know. And yeah, we can't expect 6 innings of 2-hit ball every time he goes out there, but I think this kid is actually the truth and legit. And I think Toronto is really nothing special besides Bo Bichette right now. Nobody else is really scaring me in that lineup. Vlad's been asked. Give me Miami to keep their win streak going, win a 6th game in a row, I believe they're going for. And Toronto's been pretty mid this season. Let's not fade those trends. Let's keep backing them. Marlins ML and sneaky over.
Yeah, and these two go one another. Talking about that, saying he's getting lucky is the same thing as saying that he has stats that indicate he's the 5th luckiest pitcher in the MLB right now. So it's not like I'm just picking that out of my ass or anything. He has crazy expected numbers that differ pretty widely, which is why I'm expecting it to come to a head unless he adjusts. And I'm a big Yuri Perez guy. I'm not necessarily saying he's a bad pitcher, but the numbers have indicated that he is one of the luckiest in the league. So I'm not anxious to back him on a consistent basis, but as of today, I'm down to do it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe the over is a better look then. All right, chap. Yeah, he cannot be this good. He can't be this good.
You know who I am taking prop wise outside of Soler in this game?
Who?
They have Jacob Amaya up for half a base today.
No way.
Yeah, I'm taking that. Which means he's had a kind of a big league approach in these first. I know it's been like a couple of games here, but
yeah,
he's looked pretty solid, and I'm excited to see how he keeps progressing. I mean, his approach really not just now, but as throughout the minors too. He's been a guy that I've been pretty excited to see come up. I've been looking at Aaron Layton. He's been a huge Marlins fan. Super excited about this guy too. So I'm taking him over base today. I guess he's gotten a hit in his 2 games so far. I think that continues, like his plus matchup against Kikuchi. So he's one of my sneaky little half base guys.
G.
They're 1 by 1.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, that might give the money line some life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huge life.
Okay. W's chat. What about Varsha? You like Varsha today?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, with Varsho, when he's up for that half a base, it's usually 0 for 4, 0 for 3, he gets pinch hit for, or he just hits a nuke. So I mean, if take probably a different prop for Varsho.
Okay. W's, love it. What about, which game are we going to next? Chicago versus Pitt. Man, I really don't even want to talk about Pitt today, but we can. We will. Stroman on the bump. Lines moved 20 cents against him. Kind of weird with how good Stroman's been, but he did look human in his last start. Don't hate going back to the Pirates again today after what they did to us last night, but I'm not in a rush to do it because that was atrocious. Maybe the worst squad ride of the year. Okay.
Could have been. Some are saying.
Are we going back to him?
Yeah, I mean, I think you should, to be honest, if there's a play in this game. Because, I mean, this is, again, the same exact matchup that we saw a week ago when we were on the Cubs in a square spot, faded Oviedo. Stroman was a green gob for the entire world who took him. So, I mean, coming off of that, I mean, the Pirates, again, I'm not just going to say they're going to bounce back after every poor offensive game because they're going to have 50,000 of those. But it's definitely a situation where I think going back to them is the right move here. I like a lot of their matchups against Stroman. If you look at their first game against Stroman too, he got very fortunate. Talk about the XBA on some of those outs that they had. I think that's going to continue. They've been gradually becoming a little better of a sinker ball hitting team, and it's tough to say after yesterday, after facing Smiley, who just pounded that 24/7. They just weren't able to hit with runners in scoring position, which is the difference for the Pirates. So I do think they bounce back and win a tight one here. I'm not excited about doing it, but it feels like the play in this game.
Matt coming in sounded wise after a nice prize pick square he fed us over the weekend. Remember we faded Oviedo's prize picks last week and it was free. Fantasy score was set at 30.5. Look at Oviedo's fantasy score today. Well, let's take a peek.
It wasn't that free.
He's at 30.5. It's the same thing.
Yeah, Stroman is pretty significantly higher, though. I will say that.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's also still green. And I mean, Oviedo, it was green, but I wouldn't say it was free. I mean, because it took him coming out with a pretty high pitch count, I think it was, in that last inning, and then giving up a couple runs, which I think the last one or two were charged to him, but weren't off of him. So it was fortunate, but it did hit. It is at the same number, and he did look really, really good throughout the majority of that start. So if we can get that for the entirety of his outing, I love the Pirates' chances.
Would not hate taking Oviedo's more than fantasy score today.
Yeah, wouldn't mind that one bit.
One bet. No, not at all. Stroman reminds me of John Gray on Sunday. Oh my God, Matt, that was the freest square ever. Should we just fade Stroman instead? You said Stroman's a little higher today, though, than that matchup last week, though, right?
Yeah, he was. He was at like 25 or something like that. Now he's at 30.5, which I mean he should. He hasn't really his lowest in the last 5 is 37. So I mean people would freak out again if they look at the chart and see a free green gob again. But yeah.
What do we think's the best angle here? Is it Oviedo over or is it Stroman under?
I'd say it's probably Oviedo over.
Okay. It's probably best not to just directly fade Stroman, who continues to defy all odds all season. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Stroman's fantasy score is low because of his strikeout rates. He is a green dot god, though, Kale.
Yeah, you think they don't know? You think they don't know his strikeout rate?
You can't deny it. All right. Who's the play, Oral or the Frogs? Frogs. Yeah. Let's go Frogs. All right, Javon. Pirates ML. I don't know if I'm ready to bet it, but definitely a lean there for sure. What about Seattle and the Yanks? We've got Kirby versus Cole. We've got maybe a 5-cent line move towards Seattle. Nothing crazy. Totals down from 8 to 7. Are we getting a pitcher's duel in this game?
Yeah, probably. Which, I mean, again, the Mariners, really anytime they're up against a right-handed pitcher with a lot of strikeout potential, which Garrett Cole certainly is, even though he hasn't been the Garrett Cole of past seasons in some certain spots this season, they've been struggling. And I think they definitely struggled today. But on the other side, Kirby is just – he's going to make this Yankees lineup hit. And it's interesting how he's kind of progressed throughout the entirety of the season because he's obviously a very predominant fastball guy. He's going to fill up the zone. But what he's missed, he's become very predictable, which is why in some of his blow-up spots he's been really, really bad. But his ceiling is super high against the Yanks lineup like this. So wasn't surprised to see the total at 7.5, 7. I guess 7 pretty widely now.
Yep.
You do lean that under there. I think it's going to be a masterclass in both these guys. Maybe first 5 under.
Hey. Is Kirby up on Prize Picks for anything weird?
Can take a look.
See what the Curbinator's at. He's at 32.5 fantasy score. I mean, he had a 58 piece last game, absolute gem.
Yeah.
5.5 hits allowed. I mean, nothing crazy looking there. Strikeouts. He had 10 last game. I freaking bet, dude. Pitches thrown is definitely higher than where he's been hitting recently. That could be a good sign for him to deal today. They've got a hits allowed square. They don't have a Nerfy up. They do have a Kirby and Davis Nerfy up.
Yeah.
Nothing really speaking to me there.
Yeah. I mean, they usually put like the super low total corporate Nerfy pitchers, at least on one side. They just put them with somebody who they know is going to give up a run. That's what they've been doing as of lately. So not surprised to see that. But yeah, I think Kirby pitches well. I'd rather target Garrett Cole, honestly. If I'm just taking a pitcher square in this game, I'd rather just take a strikeouts.
Okay. Not overthink it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
That would be my play there.
All right. Yeah, Cole's probably going to deal. I mean, we just saw somebody said in chat, Lynn just got 17. Is Cole going to get 20 today? Yeah, that's a square angle I can honestly get behind.
Yeah.
For sure. And one thing me and the Yankees fans can agree upon is that Donaldson sucks. He sucks. Josh Donaldson, useless. I think Yankees fans don't even like him. Straight up.
Yeah.
All right, we move. We move, chat. What about – we already talked about Colorado Cincy a little bit, but, I mean, it's the Reds ML today. Keep taking them until they lose. They're minus 190, but who gives a hoot? Do we dare take the minus 1.5? I know they're home, but their bullpen's been sketching me out a little bit late in games recently.
No, their bullpen's been great. It's been awesome. Other than like the you can't really say the Astros game with Jabot and blowing it away was really a representation of their bullpen because that was a tough spot because they needed him to close a game because Alexis Diaz had pitched like 5 to 6 days. But other than that, I mean, Alexis Diaz, when he's been pitching, has obviously been nails. I think he's like 25 saves in a row for him, 19 of 19 on the season, I'm pretty sure. Buck Farmer's been pretty good majority of the time. Lucas Sims, nails. So, I mean, they've been really, really good across the board. And Ben Lively has been sneakily pretty good. He usually has a blow-up inning or two every start. But, I mean, they're going against Noah Davis and probably a pretty extended Rockies bullpen. Being the Noah Davis leash is going to be a little short. So, I mean, it's the Reds again, but I'm not laying minus 190.
Okay, I'll do it for you. I'm betting them until they lose.
Go ahead.
Betting them until they lose. I'll take them, chat. I know Javon will be rooting for them. All right. Yeah. W's. Let's keep moving and grooving. Oakland versus Cleveland, chat. We're going to go over the MLB slate for another 20-ish minutes and do the squad ride and finalize his prize picks. Already got some squares up there that we love, which is a W. Oakland versus Cleveland, Javon. Totals at 9. It was just at 8.5, but I think I've seen it go up a little bit to 9 now. Some places. Medina versus Savali. I mean, it's Oakland. They're plus 200. I really don't like betting on Oakland games because they stink. Do you have any opinions on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind looking at the over.
The over?
There, yeah. So do you think Waldichuk gets blown up? I mean, really, when you talk about the A's, I mean, you just need the starter to give up a few, and then that bullpen comes and kicks in. So a lot of the Savali, too. I mean, I think he's going to give up a couple barrels. Wouldn't be surprised for solo shots against this lineup, too. It's like I don't know. I think the Guardians should win pretty comfortably in this one, but again, not something that I'm laying. And it could be
I wonder who this is, yeah.
Yeah, it could certainly be Jose Day. I don't mind that one bit.
Okay.
Lefty too early on, at least. Could be huge.
Sure. Give me runs. I don't know if Medina's even pitching anymore, John.
Yeah, it seems like he changed.
Looks like it's going to be Waldichuk, right?
Yeah, which, I mean, he may be coming in for a bulk start or something after Waldichuk. I don't really know, but it doesn't really affect any way that I feel about the game.
Okay. All goods. Looks like we got some college baseball questions in chats. We like TCU ML and we like Tennessee ML. All right, my dude. Krabs, when you can, Tennessee and Garrett Cole, K's over. You guys like that, right? Yes. W comment. Same page, brother. Same page. All right. Boston versus Minnesota. Crawford versus Aubert. Thoughts on this game? Thoughts on runs? Thoughts on the sides? Red Sox ML, maybe?
Yeah.
I love this game, though.
I don't love this game either. Definitely a tough game. I would like the Red Sox ML. I think it's a solid play here. I hate going back to it after the entire world was on the Twins because the Red Sox played Sunday Night Baseball and just couldn't hit, apparently. It would be impossible for them to score runs. They destroyed the Twins. I mean, those never really a contest there. It's minus the 3-run tank that the Twins hit. A little Christian Vasquez revenge game, but I really like Cutter Crawford's matchup. I mean, really any guy, again, similar to the Mariners, usually from the left side, but even from the right side with certain guys. I like Cutter Crawford's strikeouts today. I think he's a massive upside there, and I think he's going to dice up this lineup who's just a lot of swing and miss in it lately, and they're not all that explosive to begin with. So I do think he has a pretty decent matchup. Again, saying the Twins aren't going to score that many runs is not that hot of a take, but Bailey Aubert is such an interesting matchup for a lot of this Red Sox lineup too. The guy that I really like who's been absolutely scorching lately and he's got to be greened out on Prize Picks. I haven't even looked at the chart, but Verdugo, who's got like 5 or 6 multi-hit games in a row. He's been absolutely scorching. I love his matchup, probably too much enough not to take him. And yeah, there you go, super green. But so I got bumped up too, which I don't mind when I'm taking a green gob there, but Aubert is just going to fill up the zone with a lot of fastballs, which is so perfect for Verdugo and for a lot of that lineup, really. So I think the Red Sox definitely score some runs today off. And it's one of the tougher matchups that Aubert's had in his little run here, where he's been pretty solid. So I do like the Red Sox a little bit, but definitely going to be on Verdugo today.
Dubs, Verdugo. Great question in chat as well. Crawford up with a K square on Prize Picks today seems strange. I went back and looked at his stats. He has not had more than 5 strikeouts in a game this season. He's at 5.5 strikeouts, I believe. 5 strikeouts.
Yeah.
5 flat. Javon, you like Cutter to get 6 Ks today?
I do. I do.
Okay.
I mean, him being up for it is not necessarily weird because they put pretty much every pitcher up. But at the 5 number, you're going to see pretty much, I guess, anybody who goes up against the Twins have a number they haven't really touched much, if at all, recently. So that's not too surprising, but I think it's definitely reflective of what I think about the game, what I think about this matchup too.
Okay. Sounds good. Yes, you guys are talking about the home run odds in that Oakland game. Dude, yeah, it is weird, chat. It's super weird. So we're going to see if Oakland has an offensive outburst today, and we'll note that for next week. But I'm not going to bet those guys. They stink. But their odds are short to hit nukes today. I do agree. All right. Texas versus the White Sox, Javon. We've got Cease and Evaldi going. This should be a pitcher's duel, but the total's at 8.5. Moved up from 8. Give me the over. I like runs in this game from both sides. I don't know who's winning, but give me runs.
Yeah, this is a strange one because before the line moved up, I wanted to square up and take the under here. But if you're looking at it a little more, I mean, I guess this is kind of the time where everybody's starting to finally buy back into Dylan Cease. I mean, he's been incredible as of late with the command's been massively improved from the start of the season. The off speed has been incredibly sharp. I mean, he's generating a lot more whiffs as well. Evaldi's doing the same stuff that he's been all season. I think it's more Rangers here for me that I think are going to put up the runs. I think they're going to get to Dylan Cease here. Maybe we have a classic Cease start where the command's not great. Rangers work him into a lot of deep counts. You maybe have a shorter Cease outing against that Rangers team is going to force him into a lot of pitches, and we get into the bad White Sox bullpen pretty early. But I think the Rangers are going to be patient today, which they've been incredible at doing. So I think they score some runs off of Cease. Evaldi's been fantastic too, but you have in the back of your mind the home run bug, which talk about like a couple guys at the top of the lineup too, like Eloy or maybe a Luis Robert has been super hot too. I wouldn't be surprised to get a big blast off of him. So I think we get a semi-slow start, and that starts to pick up towards the end of both these guys' outings, and then we get into the bullpens, and it's probably all Rangers to take this one over.
Definitely interesting. They have Cease up for 2.5 earned runs on Prize Picks as well after those 2 gems he's been throwing. He's up there for 2.5. His earned runs all his numbers are inflated, I guess, because he's been pitching pretty well recently. I would not mind taking his less than fantasy score or less than pitching outs or, more than 2.5 earned runs, but I know how you feel about those squares. They do have that Nerfy up Cease and Evaldi, which looks pretty free to me. I would not hate that Yerfy as well.
Cease and Evaldi, yeah, that looks incredibly corporate.
Yes, it does. We got to make sure Chelly doesn't take that Nerfy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta make sure.
How do you want to fade Cease if you do at all?
Let me see. I'm looking up the number for a Rangers team total because I'm interested to see where that's at after yesterday. Because I believe it was pretty inflated yesterday, as it should be. It's in 4.5 for a pretty even number. I would probably be shocked, or I am pretty shocked that at least didn't open at a juicy 4. That's probably interesting. I want to see where that moves, but I mean that probably wouldn't be a bad look there. Team total over 4.5.
Okay. All right. You don't want to fade Cease on the Prize Picks, though?
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't be mad at taking the over earned runs and a little sneak entry. I'll be honest. It's weird enough to make me double back on it. But yeah, that's certainly weird. I'm looking to see where the odds are sitting on that board.
Okay. And while you look, we got some sub banks. Javon Talano coming in with the sub bank, 7 months, beast. We got ER Surgery giving out a sub, absolute dog. ER Surgery, hope you're doing well, brother. Miss you on stream. All right. Javon, maybe we just take his under fantasy score. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, maybe we could just do that. That could be it.
Okay. W's chats, a couple more games to go over. All right. We've got the Mets versus Houston. Javon, Verlander versus Valdez. Do you like this over? I know I did. Talk about it a little bit. I got to go to the bathroom, but keep talking. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to hear your pitch on the over, but here I do like Houston. I like the Astros to bounce back, which they've been in, I guess, a bounce back spot for a week now, maybe more. But against Verlander today, he's been, I would say, very solid over his last handful of starts, a majority of them. I like him to regress a little bit today. It's an Astros lineup. I'm interested to see who they put out there too. They've been shaking up the lineup a lot, kind of out of necessity, I guess, this past week or so. So again, another one where I'd probably want to wait in the lineup before I see anything super, want to make me commit. But I do think they play well today. I do think Framber pitches an absolute gem today. So I do think if you like the over, you're going to need the Astros to score a lot of runs off of Verlander.
Okay. So maybe no over in that game. You kind of scared me off there a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's strange. It feels like to me, yes, it is. But it feels like to me, after yesterday, you remember the Yankees Mets series where you took Verlander Cole as a pick 'em, and that total was super low. After I forget which team it was. It might have been both of them, but they all scored a ton of runs the game before. And you saw a lower total with 2 aces on the mound. It feels exactly the same. After it was 11-1 Mets yesterday, now we have another low total today with Verlander Framber on the mound. It feels like a pitcher's duel.
Bro, you guys are nuts, man. I washed my hands for 3 seconds. Does that count? All right, I'll be honest. I washed them for 3 seconds. No soap. How about that? How does that make you feel? Grow up. Grow up. If anything, you should wash your hands before you go. I'm one of those guys. How about that? All right, boys. Let's get back to baseball, okay? Give me the over in this game, but I definitely don't like it as much now that Javon doesn't like it and thinks Framber deals. We're going to need Houston runs, you think?
Yeah, which, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to get. Wouldn't be shocked.
Never shaking your hands. That's okay. That's all right. I'll give you a salutes or a knuckles. All right, beast. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving, chat. Couple more games. We're going to craft up the squad ride here in about 10 minutes. All right. Arizona versus Milwaukee, Javon. Any thoughts on Nelson? You said you liked him. Do you like them on the ML today?
No, but I like the under, which I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on. But this is kind of something that I've been going to. I believe Colin Rea was also pitching in this game, where it was like my biggest bet of the season on the under after we saw 1 million runs in the Astros Brewers game the day before. Similar here. We had Merrill Kelly, Corbin Burns yesterday. Corbin Burns got absolutely drilled. I mean, that under really didn't go over that by that much, but it was never really at a pulse either. I went relatively quickly to go that over. And now we see 9.5 with Ryan Nelson and Colin Rea on the mound, 2 pitchers that I think can be serviceable in this matchup. I mean, Ryan Nelson's going to pound a lot of fastballs. It's kind of what he does. That's why he's been so bad in certain spots. So the Brewers aren't the best fastball hitting team, especially at the bottom. So really, I mean, you talk about the guys that hit fastballs pretty well. It's Yelich and it's Rowdy Tellez. Other than that, not too many people are going to scare you from that lineup as far as their numbers against the fastball. So I think he can be okay limiting barrels in this game. Other side, Colin Rea, sinker ball pitcher. The D-backs, when they face sinker ball pitchers, a majority of their hitters, kind of same story. I mean, they have one of the highest ground ball rates against sinkers in the league. I think Rea is just going to nibble at the corners, be pretty effective in this game. So I think you get a gem out of him. But I do like this under going to it after we saw 1 million runs yesterday from one side. So I think you get 2 pitchers that pitch pretty decently here. Okay,
maybe we get another under like you sneak made, or not even sneak, like you made that under in the Brewers game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, sure. This one's not as much of a mag, but
okay,
just a regular play.
W transparency. We got Marius Cash coming into the sub bang 4 minutes ago. Let's go, my man. 6 months. W run bang. Let's freaking go, beast. All right, 2 more games. San Diego versus San Fran, Javon. Lugo versus DeSclafani. Nobody's talking about the Giants because the Reds are just way more fun and they have 1 more win on the streak. But the Giants have won 7 games in a row and nobody cares or is talking about it. They are on fire. They're an underdog today to a team with a losing record with Lugo on the ball. I freaking bet. And I know the Padres have been getting more runs recently. All right. And they've been playing better recently. But that line's crazy. And I'm not saying I want to fade the streak, but I kind of do want to fade the streak a little bit. So maybe I am saying it. Is it the Padres ML today?
Yeah, it is. I do want to fade the streak. Okay. And a lot of it really, I mean, I think the line is maybe a bit strange. I don't think it's that crazy, though. DeSclafani, for whatever reason, gets shown a lot of respect, and I'm not really sure why. He's been good, but not, like, incredibly effective. And he's one of those guys where the Padres just being patient, and I think I saw that they're leading the league in walk rate in, like, the past month right now, which is crazy because it's not just been Soto. It's been a majority of that team. If they're patient against DeSclafani, they're going to score runs, and they're going to tag him with hits. And I don't know if it was them earlier in the season. I targeted a big hits allowed prop for DeSclafani. But he's in a similar spot against a team who's going to be super patient at the plate. He's going to get into trouble very quickly, and I think the streak ends today. I'm a pretty big fan of the Padres today, regardless of how Seth Lugo and whoever comes out behind him, which the Padres bullpen and rotation has been nails lately, so it's not like I'm scared of that. But regardless of how they pitch, I love their bats against DeSclafani. It's probably one of the favorite plays I have on the board.
Dubs. Some of the sharpest splits on the board as well. 36% of bets, 64% of handle on the ML, on Visson. So pretty good splits there on the money line. Some big old bets coming in on the Padres. All right, chat? Yeah, give me the Padres today. Fuck it. DeSclafani, he's going to get destroyed. Lugo, he'll do just enough. Padres ML, they'll get it done. Dodgers Angels, Javon, you said you don't like any home run hitters in this late night game. It is on TBS, though, and it's Kershaw Detmers, and it's Dodgers Angels. We need a play. What do you like?
Kind of like the Angels, to be honest with you. I think Detmers outduels Kershaw on this one. Two teams that have been pretty solid against left-handed pitching. Obviously, the Dodgers have been significantly better, and I guess you can say, I mean, it's only been a week, but a couple of their appearances have started to taper off a bit, I guess you could say. But, I mean, they've been playing the Giants in that stretch as well. His pitching staff has been amazing. Angels have been a little shaky, but Reed Detmers hasn't been shaky. I'll tell you that.
Right.
And we faded him, I guess, against the Rangers, which worked. Not because of him, though. He was absolutely lights out in that start. I think he's going to be great tonight. I think he's going to strike out a lot of Dodgers today. I'll be looking at his strikeout prop. I haven't looked into the number yet, but I think he's going to have a really solid matchup today against the Dodgers. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is just a pitcher's duel masterclass. I know we see an 8.5 total. I think if we get there, it's going to have to be on the backs of a big inning from one of these teams. Hopefully the Angels, maybe late in the game as well. But I'm pretty big on Detmers today.
All right. Somebody in chat asked if the Angels are public. No, sir. Dodgers are public once again. Angels are getting 25% of bets, 30% of handle on that ML. And the odds have come down about 15 cents, 10 cents towards them. Good sign there with that movement. Everyone's going to be on the Dodgers late night with Kershaw on the bump. Detmers, terrible stats on the surface, but he looks like a new guy in his last two starts. When he's locked in, he's got some of the best stuff in baseball. The problem is he's never locked in. But right now he is. Maybe we back him and try to sneak out one more win out of him before he regresses once again.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned Kershaw's road splits, which, yeah, they're bad, I guess you could say, but it's also like a couple of his road starts have been like outside of the Reds. His last couple were the Rays and the Cardinals, who are two of the best left-handed hitting teams in the league. Like the teams he's faced at home are the White Sox lately and the Yankees without Judge in their lineup. So, like, he's gotten fortunate matchups, so his splits aren't as dramatic as they seem on the surface, but he has looked a little worse on the road. That's no secret.
Give me the Angels ML chat. That's a dog I can get behind. All right. And also, Trent said the model has the Angels. Okay. All right. The model's fading the Dodgers. That's rare.
That is rare. Extremely rare.
All right, boys. Well, we just went through the whole MLB board. All right. We went over a lot of prize pick squares. We're going to do the squad ride now. Give you guys plenty of time to vote and queue. And we are going to craft up and finalize this prize picks because we have a ton of squares. We got to cut some down. All right. But first, squad ride. All right, Javon, what are we putting in here, man? What are your favorite plays today?
Say for me, big three. I guess are probably all the late games. Padres, Angels, Brewers under.
Definitely can get behind Padres and Angels ML. We might circle back to that Brewers under. Let's check the rest of the card.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I really like that under in Atlanta, Philly, man. I just can't stop thinking about it. Do you want to pass?
Yeah, if you like it, put it in.
You got to like it too, though.
I mean, I certainly am not taking the over. As public as it is, line moving the other way. I'm kind of buying back in on Strider a little bit to start, so I don't mind it.
Okay. I'm going to throw you out some options. You let me know what sticks. All right? We've got the under in Philly. We've got Miami ML, and now they're on a win streak too, but I wouldn't hate hopping on and getting one more win out of them against Kikuchi. We've got – what else do we got? Pirates ML, potentially. We've got that Yankees under, potentially. Reds ML, but they're minus 190, so we probably don't put that in there. Maybe we just squad ride that itself because it's the Reds and we're all taking them and we're getting rich off of them. I would say our best bet is probably one of those or two of those three plays. Philly under, Miami money line, Pitt ML.
I mean, I have no problem taking the Braves under or Miami ML.
Okay. We'll put those two in there. Miami ML, Atlanta under. All right. Fade YSL Kikuchi, sure. Sure. Trent's on Philly over, has to be the under. Okay. Good sign. Good sign. Reds -1.5. Chat's saying, is that what you guys want us to put in there? I don't know if we can do it, though. I don't know if we can do it. They've been putting some base runners on late in the games, giving me some anxiety. I don't know if I can do it. Right now, chat, we've got Padres ML, Angels ML, Miami ML, Atlanta under. I think we're debating between the Pirates ML, which I wouldn't mind not going back to, although I think they do win today, or we go with that Milwaukee under, Javon. So whatever one you like better, we will put in there.
I mean, we could also throw that Mets Astros under in there too. I don't know if that's stuff.
I like the over in that game.
Oh, you did say that. You did say that.
I like the over.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Brewers under probably the best out of those two options.
Everyone in chat spamming Rangers team total over.
Rangers.
I mean, I like the over in that game.
Yeah.
I think the White Sox put up some runs against Evaldi as well. I like the over in the game overall, not just team total.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem going with that.
We're not taking the Nats, Clams. No chance. No chance. Study Hall Sharp 3 on the Blue Jays, I bet. Sure. All right. We're going to put in that Texas and White Sox over. I really like that. Forgot about it when I combed through. Javon, seal of approval on that one. Thumbs up.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome chat. 5 plays, 5 winners for the BTL squad ride on this beautiful Tuesday. San Diego ML, Angels ML, Miami ML, the Atlanta under, and Texas Chicago over. All right. I don't think there's a Megalodon on the slate today. I think there's a bunch of plays we like. So be targeted, chat. Pick the right buttons. All right. We need you. The poll should be up in the Twitch chat. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. And we got Tiger Rock coming in with the sub bang as well. Let's freaking go, my man. Chat, the poll should be up. All right. Make a vote, make a play. I'm not seeing the poll up, though. There it is. Yeah. Bang. There we go. Chat, hurry up. Go vote. Go, 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 go now. Hurry up. We got about 8 minutes. All right. Get your votes in. 5 options, 5 winners. All right, boys. For now, let's finalize this prize picks, Javon. All right. We'll get Josh to show it up. I know he's been keeping track of all these. I think we've already got 6 of them locked in right now. Sure. So we've got those ones, Javon. And then we've also got Cutter Crawford strikeouts. We've got Verdugo. We've got Cease fades. And we could take Detmer strikeouts as well, too. How do you want to play this? We have like 10 squares we like.
Yeah, which ones do we have in there already? I see Amaya, Oviedo, and Cole. It's ones. We have Nolan Jones, Soler, and Darno.
We could probably take out one of the Miami guys if you want to pick which one you like the best.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I kind of like Amaya better as long as he's in the lineup.
Okay.
Should be.
All right. Let's take Amaya. I'm in. You like Darno and Nolan? You want to leave those guys in there?
Yeah, I'm down to leave those guys in there for sure.
Okay, we'll leave Amaya as well. Now let's talk about some of these pitchers. We got Oviedo. We got Cole. Could also go Cutter or Detmers or Cease, Javon.
Ooh.
A lot of options.
We do have a lot of options.
A lot of squares today, Chad. Pick and choose.
Yeah, I mean, which pitchers? I guess we have a lot of them. Which pitchers really stuck out to you?
I like Garrett Cole strikeouts. I like the Oviedo under, and I like Cutter Crawford strikeouts.
Let's roll with those. I'm down.
Is that the 6-piece we got, or we only have 5 up there right now?
Add Cutter, it should be 6, right?
It should be a 6-piece. All right, so right now we've got Cutter more than 5 strikeouts. We got Garrett Cole more than 8 strikeouts, I believe. Oviedo less than fantasy score. We got Amaya, TBs. We got Nolan Jones, and we got Darno. Javon, that looks like a 6-piece banger to me.
That does. It looks fire.
All right, and Chad, if you guys don't like those squares and want to sub in anything else, feel free to put in Verdugo. Feel free to fade Cease. Feel free to take Detmer strikeouts. All right, plenty of squares on today's slate. Plenty of squares. All right, boys. And we got about a minute left on the squad ride poll. Hurry up and get your votes in. I want to see 100 votes on the board. Right now, it's the Padres by a landslide, Javon. They got 74 votes. Next up is the Angels.
The dads, man. There we go.
Sure. Oviedo less, chat. Oviedo less. Or no, Oviedo more. Oviedo more.
Oviedo more. Yeah, see over.
Holy smokes. Oviedo more, chat. We're backing Oviedo. If you want to take a less than pitcher's fantasy score, take Stroman. All right? We're taking Oviedo to pitch well today. His over. All right, boys? Oviedo got to get shit on. I freaking bet, dude. I freaking bet. How much conviction, Javon? Scale 1 to 10.
If I didn't have any conviction, it wouldn't have been pitched like it was. I'll tell you that.
Sure. He's got conviction, chat.
Yeah.
All right? Crab's always doing this, man. Bro, grow up. We're trying to spoon feed. Who cares if I said more instead of less or less instead of more? All right? You guys know the vibes. You know the drill. All right? What's the favorite 2 squares? Oof. Now you guys are getting specific. I'd say the best 2 squares on the board, probably Darno and probably Amaya. Maybe you just take that in the 2-piece. Little Darno and Amaya 2-piece.
Yeah, I have a Maya Verdugo 2-piece locked in.
Go back to the prize picks real quick. Okay, we'll go back to it real quick. Chat, we are riding with the Padres on the ML today for the squad ride, which I like. W play. Yeah, feel free to guys, mix and match if you want to. All right, we just went over like 10 squares. All right, the 6-piece we're sending, we got Oviedo over, we got Cole over, we got Cutter over, we got Nolan Jones over, Amaya over, and Darno over. All right, boys. Some other squares. You can go with frickin' Verdugo. You can go with Cease. You can go with Detmers. Plenty of options. Pay attention, class. Yep. Lays Days gets it. He's locked in. And I hope you guys know this. You can always go back and rewatch these episodes. All right, on Twitch and on YouTube. You can always go back and rewatch them. You don't have to watch it live, although it's better. You can always go back if you missed something and check out what we like in these games. All right. Darno base is a good look. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think he's going to be an RBI opportunities, so that's why, I mean, not that we have an option, but I'm with it.
Chiote, I'll do it for you, brother. I'll do it for you. Vintage Crabs will be out after the All-Star break. First game, we're taking Nats ML, Royals ML, we're parlaying them. All right, that's Vintage Crabs if I've ever seen them. Okay, chat. Now I got to stay up all night and watch this. Fuck. Yes, you do, Jangus. Yes, you do. Hey, guys, you may have touched on this, but I noticed Buxton is up for a run. He's minus 90 WRC plus last 14. Hard to get much worse, Lowell. Something tells me he's smacking today. Pretty sharp angle there, Jeremy.
Certainly could be. I'll mind that.
Sharp angle there, brother. DK has a boost for the Nerfy in the Braves game. I fucking bet they do. I fucking bet they do. Do we like Nats team total today? Yes, we like the Nats today. They're winning. You like the Nats today, Javon?
I mean, I don't mind them.
You like the over?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard not to.
Okay. Yeah, you missed the squad ride, brother. You come in, you give a sub bang, and you leave. What the hell, Trent Superguts?
Unreal.
I thought you were staying for the long haul, brother. Squad ride, Padres, I'm out. All right, boys. We'll make sure we post the Dinger Tuesday card. I think we might have already posted it. We'll post the prize picks. Okay. Chat, as always, tail responsibly. But if you're not taking the squad ride every day, we can't help you. We can't. 97, 62, and 3. All right, we'll let the record speak for itself. Nobody else is doing this, chat. W's to you for clicking the right buttons, as always. Okay. And also, the Frogs game starts up here in about 2 minutes. We like TCU. All right, Javon. We need the Frogs to continue their legacy season for all sports.
Yeah, need it for at least another game or two. They're not beating Florida twice, even if they win, respectfully. But I would love to see them get a crack at it.
Sure. Give the boys a goddamn chance. All right, chat? Give them a chance. Yeah. Javon, you about to tap into that game right now and absolutely lock in?
Yeah, I'm about to sweat immediately.
100%. Chat, TCU ML, if you're trying to sweat, game starts up in a minute. But the squad ride, Padres ML, if you're not taking that, I don't know what to tell you. Start taking the squad rides every day if you're not already, because you're missing out on coins if you don't. All right, chat? Download props.cash. Okay? Use our W promo. I'll put it in chat. All right? And stick around for the surge stream starting up here in a minute. Trent's going to take us through the boards. We're going to see what the model has. He's going to bring his guests up. Stick around for the Surge stream starting up here in a minute, chat. And we'll catch you tomorrow on BTL. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing, boys.